Oh yes. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. My name is Chase Steele Greye, and as you can see, I have a tree growing out of the back of my body. I think I want to stay here for a little while because I love this image. So much stuff happening right here, right? I picked this spot on purpose because I just love the energy, right, of these trees awakening. It's just incredible. Anyhow, my name is Chase Steele Greye, and I am your host for today for Health and Wellness Wednesdays. So every Wednesday, I come on and I speak about something that has to do with your health or your wellness, or both, perhaps. And a little about me: I am a singer, I am an actor, I'm a dancer, I am a influencer, I'm a creator, and I'm curious about life and how it moves around all the time. I'm not going to spend too much time on myself because I want to speak about this topic. And just to begin, for those of you who are not familiar with Kundalini, um, Kundalini basically stands for coiled one. So if you think of a serpent that's coiled and twisted around, so on and so forth, think about that energy being at the base of your spine, right? But coiled up. And this practice allows us to send that energy up from our spine and through our chakras to create awakening, enlightenment, clarity, so on and so forth. It is definitely a marathon and not a sprint. So when we talk about these specific things, these are not things that are going to happen overnight. My particular experience with Kundalini was that as a musician, I was fascinated with the music that came on while doing Kundalini. I was also fascinated by these things called kriyas. So, directly translated, a kriya is an action or a deed, and it is carried out to achieve a specific um, reaction, right? So, you in Kundalini, uh, you have different kriyas that deal with different parts of the body. I want to make sure I tell you these too because I wrote them down because I don't often talk about these, although I know what they are. Um, and for those of you who are familiar with the neti pot, where you put the liquid in your nose and you drain and you clear, neti is one of the kriyas. Then you have dauti, which is the food in the windpipe. You have trataka, which is eyes, right? You have basti, which is the large intestine. You have nauli, which is abdominal, and you have kapalabhati, which is the frontal brain, right? So when we speak about kriyas, and I remember it very clearly doing this practice, going into the room with these magnificent practitioners. Wow. Case in point, I remember going into one of my first 5 classes. There was a woman there, excuse me. Everyone was wearing white. White is the perfect kind of reflective, energetic clothing for Kundalini. And there was a woman there. I don't know how old she was. I just thought she was a superwoman. She had to be late 60s, early 70s. And she was laying on her back and she was raising her legs up to like an L shape and bringing them down slowly. Obviously, if you've ever done that exercise, right in the core, right in the core. If you don't have core muscles, you can't even think about doing that exercise, right? But I'm watching her do it so controlled, like moving your hand up and down like this and back up again. She must have did it 30 times in front of me. And I thought, that is core strength. That is core strength. So during this time, doing this Kundalini and um, getting into this practice, someone told me a long time ago that you if you do this practice, you become more open-minded, less reactive, and lastly, more willing to help others. And I thought, sign me up. I'm here. I'm good. Sign me up. When can we start? Because that definition to me was so clear and so who I want to be, like in everyday life, no matter if I found this out or not. Man, I don't know what's going on with me today. Anyhow, so I wanted to give you a little pre-information about Kundalini, and I implore you, please, to go online and look at Kundalini more. And if you're really feeling very, very adventurous, go to a Kundalini class and feel it. I can tell you from my own experience, when I was in that class and I saw that lady, and maybe I did 30 or 40 Kundalini classes after that, my body tingled. It was like a certain kind of electricity that was going through my body while doing it. It was challenging too. So you, oh, hello, Ingrid. Supply the spelling. Spelling for what exactly? Kundalini, or what was the thing that you wanted spelling on? If you don't mind.
Kundalini. Kundalini, thank you.
Kundalini, Kundalini, Kundalini. And the things that I spoke about after that are called Kriyas, Kriya, Kriya, which is an action or deed that has a specific outcome. So you're doing it for a specific reason. So when we entered the room, there was always music playing. Everyone was dressed in white. Most people had their heads covered up. And there was a Kriya every time. The reason why this practice fascinated me is because it seems, we never repeated a Kriya. To my knowledge, there are hundreds of Kriyas. So this particular practice goes everywhere, goes all around your body, all the chakras, everything. Maybe my sixth class in, I was doing a specific movement at the end of the class. Maybe my arms were out. I can't remember what I was doing. And all of a sudden, tears started coming out from my eyes, like someone was inside going, okay, time to go. Just crying. And I was like, wow. I don't think I was upset about anything. I wasn't concentrating on anything else but the class. So fascinatingly, I walked up to the teacher and I said, just started crying out of nowhere. She said, bravo, good job. I said, what do you mean? She said, if you're crying, that means you've given your body permission to release something that you had not released prior to coming in this room. And I was like, oh, okay. She goes, how did it feel? I said, I mean, I get it felt good. I guess it was pleasing. It was, yeah, it felt good. She goes, good, congratulations. I hope you start crying more. I said, okay, well, for that too as well. And I just thought it was really interesting because the process as you go on, it's not a quick fix. You're not going to learn everything you want to learn in one day. You're not going to learn everything about Kundalini in one day. You're not going to know all the Kriyas. I mean, it was just amazing, right? So today's focus, after giving you that little pre-show information, is this book that I purchased when I started doing Kundalini, right? It's called The Master's Touch, right? And this book is by Yogi Bhajan, 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 Yogi Bhajan, who is known as a master of Kundalini yoga. So obviously, well, maybe not obviously, this man is no longer with us, but my goodness, this guy is incredible. And the people who have practiced Kundalini or aspire to become Kundalini teachers, mostly all of them know about him or have studied him to some level. This guy came to America, I think in the 60s, late 60s, and he started this company called 3HO, which means Healthy, Happy, Holy Organization, which is also amazing. But something he said was really, really interesting to me. And he said, I came here to create teachers, not disciples. So I want you to take in this practice and become a teacher, right? Hence, Master's Touch. It's a book about becoming a teacher. And most people are like, well, I don't want to be a teacher. I'm coming here to learn so on and so forth. So I'm going to read some excerpts from this book because I think they're very, very enlightening. And I want you to think about what this guy is saying because it's just some of the stuff is so next level, and it might sound counter to how you're living your life right now, but I just I'm amazed at where these things take your brain, right? So he says, I'm going to read this sidebar thing, and then I'm going to read the main thing. The known formula for happiness is commitment will give you character. That will give you dignity. That will give you divinity. That will give you grace. That will give you the power to sacrifice. Then you feel achieved and you'll be happy. Correct? Does anybody know anything other than that? He put that on the side, right? So it says here, your infinity is you when you stop thinking. Have you stopped thinking? That's the end of it. Awareness takes these things away from you. Thinking, reason, logic, argument, fantasies, planning, scheming, knowing, and worrying. These 9 things must go before you can say that you're on the path of awareness. Do you know why? Don't you know? God, Allah, the higher being is this little thing you don't even know. You've come for a teacher's course because the one who rotates the earth can take care of your routine. These 9 things you do are unwanted. They only satisfy the ego. Where there is ego, there is no amigo. Where there is ego, there is no amigo. I love that. I love it. So he also says, organically, we're all divine. Duality is created by our identity, not by our infinity. By infinity, you are all divine. There's absolutely no reason to see anybody as wrong. What is wrong? There cannot be anything wrong. Wrong and right is our judgment. Judgment is wrong to begin with. What is wrong then? I'm like, whoa, like these thinking points, right? Of how we actually stack things, right? So today, I brought a specific thing to read and possibly another one, but this one is very, very specific. And I came here today specifically to read some things so that you can take in some of these insights from Yogi Bhajan, right? Um, the and then I have another book here called The Book of Awakening that I'm going to end with today, which I think you're going to really like. So this is called Overcoming the Complexes of Life, right? Which I thought, way powerful topic, right? So it says, today we are talking about something very serious. It's the cause of all tragedies, the cause of all pain, the cause of all of our degradation, inferiority, depression, unfulfillment, and unhappiness. Whatever negative is in your life, this one thing is the cause of it. It's called a complex. We are all the byproduct of complexes. The child in us never grows up, and the child in us has a very strong creative complex. That is why when we are sure, we are not sure. When we are right, we are not right. Some people have no roots. The complex of a child is so powerful. About 90 out of 100 people just crawl their whole lives, whether they have the best or the worst environments. We've never learned to overcome our complexes. I have white skin. That's a complex. I am brown. This is a complex. I'm American. It's a complex. I'm German. It's a complex. I'm a person. It's a complex. I'm a human. I'm a doctor. It's a complex. Everything in life is boxed into a complex, and everything is a certification. Actually, those who do not have complexes are those who live by the virtue of their soul all the time. It's a mental process. It's so amazing. I'm blonde. I'm brunette. I'm woman. I'm man. I'm black. I'm yellow. I'm pink. I'm Japanese. I'm French. I don't know. I'm Spanish. I'm a gringo. I'm a redneck. I'm a blue neck. The whole thing is garbage. It's called mental garbage. Really. Honest to God, it's untrue. You may not like what I'm saying, and saying it chokes me up. What an unfortunate humanity you are. When I read that the first time, I was like, of course that makes sense, right? Non-attachment. You are here and you are you, and that's it. Like, there's nothing to talk about, right? But he goes on to say that man without a complex is nothing but a living victory. It's as simple as that. You can never win. Every day you win, every day you lose, every day you have problems, every day you eat your own garbage. Doesn't it stink and smell? You have to eat your own dirt. Are you so sick? Don't you know you are pure, you are positive, you are spirit, and you have nothing but to be? To be, and the light of your spirit you share, you glow and glare and have fun. See, these words, when I hear them, the first thing I think about, which may be a complex, is how many distractions we have around us. How many times we don't hear these things at all from anyone, right? So when we hear it, it sounds foreign, right? Like for Chinese people, they're very, very good with reflexology and knowing where the pain starts and ends in their bodies. But if a Chinese person told you to take a bizarre apparatus and put it under your foot and swallow some nasty liquid and put your hands on the side of the table, you'd be like, are you crazy? And yet that could be the area or the channel that makes you better, right? So it's interesting because he talks here about, I'm going to tell you this little story. He's talking to a girl and he says, I don't like my nose. And he says, what's wrong with your nose? It's so good. It fits well. Oh, no, I don't like my nose. I have to get a nose job. So she spends $6,000 to get her nose job done. Nose got done. 2 months, she comes back and asks me, how does it look? I said, ridiculous. She said, why? He said, because it's not your nose. Oh, no, you were prejudiced. I said, yeah, I'm prejudiced, but it's not your nose. Why? I said, it's not your nose. But why? What do you mean, why? Oh, because you know people appreciate me. I said, people don't appreciate you. And the doctor didn't appreciate you. Tell your doctor he has to re-nose you. She says, why? Says, I'm telling you, are you finding difficulty breathing at night? She said, yes, but it'll go away. I said, no, it will increase. You will not breathe. 6 months later, she had to go in for a major operation, huge, humongous. She came back. She said, how does it look? I said, worse than before, but at least now you'll breathe. Why? I said, did they put tubes in your nose? She said, yes. He said, see, but why did it happen to me? He said, you had a normal nose. Your nose was straight. Straight nose had the direct ear contact with your pituitary. The moment they cut that nerve, you were finished. So what will happen to me now? I said, unstandard sleeps, headaches. Sometimes your head will eat circles. She's still alive, and all those things are true. Somebody got his ear fixed. Now he has a problem. He hears like a dog. He hears all the high frequencies. He can't even drive a car. If a police goes by with a siren on, he has to pull over and stop the car. Get this job done, that job done. Doctors are a help. They diagnose. But God made you. If you don't like yourself, if you don't like yourself, kill yourself. The way this guy talks. What's the idea of being yourself? The idea of life is to be, to be. You can live with your ego and say, I don't like myself. I want to like myself this way, that way. But you're like the way you are. Okay. This story reminds me of a few people that I know in my life that are always going to that other thing, to be loved more, to look greater, to whatever. And it always seems to pull them back as opposed to pulling them forward, right? So that's a piece of the story that I wanted to tell you because I thought it was fascinating. A really, really a fascinating story because I know we know people like that in our lives, and there's things going on that, you know, what can I say? You know, as I'm talking to you right now, that noise is trying to distract me, but I'm not going to let it. Center. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is liberation, right? Or the art and the science of liberation. This is something that Yogi Bhajan talks about, and he has a talk. I think he gave this talk in what, 1969? Yeah, 1969. I know this is a lot of information, but if you're gaining something from this book, please get this book. This book will make you think about so many things. I've gone through it multiple times, and I keep coming back to it, keep coming back to it, keep coming back to it. So it says here, what is a liberated being? What is the reason we suffer in the hands of time? Every person has two sides. One is the carefree, the other is the careless. When one lives in the careless side, he's guided by his divine faculty. When he or she lives in the careless side, he's guided by his animal force. It's not the carelessness of breaking a glass or accidentally throwing away something you meant to keep. Materially, we are considered careless when we're unable to discharge our material responsibilities. But in reality, we are truly careless when we lose our divine personality. When that something, which is very precious beyond value, is lost just for passion. Emotion and passion are the two buyers of our spiritual personality. If you analyze this thought, you will realize that such a bargain is too costly. For what are we trading our spiritual self? This world of ours is a transitory phase of life. It's not permanent, but we always associate ourselves with it as if we belong to it and it belongs to us. That's the first part of it, right? This is a very long talk, so I'm just taking pieces of it, right? Here's another part. Habit is a must of your personality and mind. For that period, when you're acting under a demoting habit, you are totally in a negative personality. It's also a fact that if you get into any one negative habit, you will automatically attract its four sister habits. This I thought was fascinating. So you have a negative thought and you attract four sister habits, right? Because they love to stay together. That's what he says. These 5 demoting habits of behavior and attitude, so 4 to 5, are greed, anger, lust, attachment, and negative ego. When one sister enters the house, she calls all the others into joy. Each habit is supported on 2 tripods: mental, physical, and spiritual, and past, present, and future. Now think about that. One habit invites in the other 5, and each habit is supported on 2 tripods: mental, physical, and spiritual, or past, present, and future. There's a lot of information there. A lot of information. So I'm going to open it up to you right now. If anyone wants to say anything about any of the insights that I've spoken about so far, and maybe how one of these have affected you, because this is a lot of information. I mean, this book, and I'm going to show it to you again. It's called The Master's Touch. I'm going to leave it there for a second so you can see it, know the image. Yeah. It's a golden book. This book is, to me, worth thousands of dollars on levels that I can't even describe. Anyone have a comment or anything you want to say? All right. Not a problem. Not a problem. So
This
also,
is Maria Sangria. Can you hear my voice?
Maria Sangria. I don't know why when I say that I have to speak like I'm a Latin person. I love that.
Oh,
Go ahead.
everyone sings to me because of my name. Chase, thanks for everything. And can you say again, what is the book that you said that's worth so much to you? I think it had the word master in it.
The Master's Touch.
The Master's Touch.
Yep.
Okay, who wrote it?
The Master's Touch is by Yogi Bhajan.
Okay.
Bhajan. Bhajan.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. And the other one's called The Art of Awakening.
I'm going to read something from it right now. It's called
Okay,
The
great.
Book of Awakening. Can you see it?
Let me see. Oh, wow, that's beautiful cover. Okay, The
Beautiful,
Book of
right?
Awakening.
Beautiful, right?
Very.
I love beautiful things. So I'm going to read this one thing. If no one else has a comment, this is the book that the Book of Awakening is a book. It's by a man named Mark Nepo, and it's called The Book of Awakening: Having the Life You Want by Being Present to the Life You Have. Great title. Wow. So it goes by the day of the month. So this book is a gift to you all because trust me, if you read something from this book every day, I keep it close by to me. I read it quite a few times a month. So this one, which is April 30th, which is today, starts with a quote. Whether drifting through life on a boat or climbing toward old age, leading a horse, each day is a journey, and the journey itself is home. That's the quote. But the story is this. It's called One Constant Arrival. 12 years ago, as my journey through cancer was beginning, my grandfather was dying. I didn't know I had cancer, but I believe she knew she was dying. I could tell because when I'd visit her in her Kingsbrook Medical Center in Brooklyn, she would sit on the edge of her bed and peer off into the distance she alone could see. She was 94, and I had the feeling she was imagining the other shore the way she did when she was 10, crossing the Atlantic on a crowded steamship that was trudging through the huge waves. Life for her was one endless immigration, one constant arrival in a new land. Perhaps this is why I'm a poet, because immigration is in my blood. Perhaps this is why I understand the world of experience as one vast ocean we never stop crossing, even at depth. I'm asking you to imagine the life of your spirit on earth as such immigration, as one constant arrival in a new land. Given this, we must accept that no matter the shore before us, the swell and toss of this sea never ends. Um, when brought to the crest of a swell, we can see as far as eternity, and the soul has its perspective. But when the belly of those waves, we are, each of us, for the moment, lost. The life of the soul on earth has us bobbing on a raft of flesh in and out the view of eternity. And the work of the inner pilgrim is to keep eternity in our heart and mind's eye when dropped in the belly of our days. Whew. There's a lot there. There's a lot. And it says, sit quietly and imagine yourself bobbing safely on the ocean of experience we never stop crossing. Breathe deeply and imagine each day as a wave. And lastly, enter your own rhythms and feel what kind of wave today is. If today is cresting, look about you and take in all that you can see of life. If today is a belly of a day, acknowledge the hardships you are facing. Lastly, breathe slowly and remember that another crest is coming. Bring to mind the last rising, remembering what that enabled you to see. So again, this book is by day. I'm going to show it to you again. It's the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. And it's one of my heavy hitters. I have about 10 books that I refer to on a monthly basis, sometimes on a weekly basis. And that's one of my heavy hitters, right? So I implore you to learn some more about Kundalini. It's going to push you. It's a powerful practice. It really is. I'm about to re-enter it. And so I wanted to start with this. But my good people, thank you for your attention today. I know I said a lot of things and I wanted you to get the juice, the marrow of what I was saying, because these things are in my head. I'm working them out. I'm living them in my life. And I wanted to give them to you today because the challenges are the challenges, right? It's up to us to navigate around them. They will not go away per se. But Ingrid, did you just show something? Oh, I thought you were trying to show something. Okay. So oh, you have it. Of course you have it. Ingrid, of course you have it. Why would you not have that book? Of course. Doesn't even surprise me. Doesn't even surprise me. So if anyone has anything to say, please say it now. We're going to do our outro. I appreciate all of you, either way. It's been a very calm call today, or a calm show. I wanted to bring you these things in a beautiful environment with beautiful colors and just a cooling and calming vibe as we go into this day. Remember, please, to love more and love intentionally. Remember to laugh out loud. Remember to eat plants, eat more plants today. Challenge yourself, right? Eat an apple, eat an orange, have 2 salads, have a banana, have some dates, put them all together, right? See how your body feels. Remember that moving your body is essential, right? Move your body today in a way that you didn't yesterday. Take a walk, take a run, get on the bike, have your bike set up again for the spring. Something to let your body know that you appreciate it and you're grateful for it. Something to let your body know, you know what? You took me all this way. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, right? Remember to sleep more than you slept last night and the night before. Do whatever you need to do, right? Turn the phone off earlier than you did last night, right? The goal is no phone or electronics 1 hour before you sleep. 1 hour. Take that time for yourself, right? Remember to challenge all of your assumptions. Remember to stay in a place of positivity, stress less, whatever that means for you, whoever you need to speak to. I'm always available. Anybody can reach out to me. I love speaking to people. You can contact me at any moment. I'm completely open, right? Although I am not perfect, I am a hard worker and I'm putting things together every day. So I would love to talk to you. Anyway, my good people, if this is your first time here with us, we're here every day at 9 a.m. sharp. We speak about health, wealth, professionalism, business, spirituality. You will leave here with something every day, guaranteed. Some of the best hosts on the planet. And I mean that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Go out into the day with purpose. You matter, and the possibilities are endless. Peace.